Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel and today's edition of Premier League Preview. Now this is of course the first of this season. I have been slacking with it, but it's back now and it's bigger and better than ever. So this is the current state of the Premier League table. Chelsea do of course sit top of the Premier League with Manchester City coming in second, West Ham then taking third spot, and Liverpool are just behind them in fourth. Now, let's get into today's predictions. Leicester City versus Chelsea is our first game of the week. Now, Leicester City coming to this game in 12th place, while of course Chelsea, like I just mentioned, come in at top spot. Leicester City have taken 8 points from their last 15, while Chelsea have picked up 13. Of course, they only dropped points in their last game, drawing 1-1 to Burnley. Now, there's big news injury-wise for both teams. Youri Tielemans and Romelu Lukaku might be back for both clubs. Tielemans is about 50-50, while there is strong hopes that Lukaku will be back. Now, of course, I can't confirm or deny whether these players will be back, but there are strong rumours that at least Romelu Lukaku will be back and ready for this game. Now, what do I think about this game and who do I think will win it? Now, I think, look, both teams are good, but I think it's hard to look past Chelsea this season. They are so strong. They do have that quality in depth. And if Chelsea were without Lukaku, then I think maybe Leicester have a chance. But with Lukaku back, with Mason Mount back, I just don't think Leicester are good enough to beat Chelsea. Chelsea are one of the best teams in the Premier League and one of the best teams in the world at the moment. Leicester City aren't the same team and at their very best like they have been the last few seasons. So I do only see this game going in Chelsea's way. However, I do think it will be a little closer than some may believe. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. Next up, we have Aston Villa versus Brighton. Now, Brighton coming to this game sat in 7th place after what has been a very successful start to the season for them. They are finally starting to put these chances away. While Aston Villa, after a very successful last season, they're not in such great form, are they? They are at 16th. They've taken no points from their last 15. Brighton, look, they come to the game not in amazing form, despite their good start to the season, only picking up 4 points in the last 15. But I do think Brighton are better than that. And I think what Brighton need is a consistent goal scorer. They were scoring a few goals at the start of this season, but they're slowly drying up again. So I think I still believe they need that clinical goal scorer, which you can rely on to get 15 goals a season. And that's something I don't believe they have in Neil Maupay or Danny Welbeck. This game is quite interesting again. We've got Steven Gerrards taking charge of his first game as Aston Villa manager. How would he get on? Because it's a big job for him. It's a big step from Rangers in the Scottish Premiership, obviously coming to the Premier League. It's his first job in Premier League football, in an English football, unless you include the Liverpool under-23s. So how will he adapt? Will he be able to get the best out of the star signings in the likes of Emi Buendia and Leon Bailey? Will he be able to make a system that works for this team? And what will the system be? And will Aston Villa get the new manager bounce that they so desperately need? As I said, haven't picked up a point in their last 5 games. It's not good enough. So Gerrard needs to kind of get this Aston Villa team going as soon as possible. And for Brighton, it's not looking good for them. I mean, I don't really rate their backup goalkeeper. And of course, Sanchez will be suspended after getting sent off in their last game. So I think this is a good opportunity for Steven Gerrard to get his first points on the board straight away and get Aston Villa back in winning ways. However, like I said, I think Brighton, they play really good stuff. And look, they're 7th for a reason. They haven't been able to efficiently put the ball in the net, but they ain't conceding loads. And while they are now without Sanchez, Aston Villa, to go toe-to-toe with Brighton, and a very good Brighton team at that, it's going to be difficult for them. I do still think this is going to be a close game, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we have Burnley versus Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace come in at 10th, 9 points from the last 15. while Burnley are in 18th. However, similar amount of points collected. They've picked up 6 in their last 15. So, both teams, look, they're picking up a similar amount of points. Crystal Palace obviously certainly doing the better of the two sides, obviously sitting in 10th. And look, for me, this is kind of a battle of the systems. We know Burnley, they are that direct physical team that is, well, they don't look to try and pass you through the lanes, do they? Or the lines, I should say. Whereas Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira are trying to do that. Trying to play kind of the right way, in a sense. And Crystal Palace, look, they're obviously the nicer team to watch play. But are they the most efficient team? And look, I don't really know. I think at times they've looked really good, Palace. At times I've been slightly underwhelmed, especially with them going forward. I remember they played Leicester City. They dominated that game, but they went 2-0 down at half time because they just didn't take their chances. And at the back, they were a bit sloppy. So I question whether Crystal Palace are a team that will just, they could potentially get one really good chance and take it. But that being said, I do think they will take their chances. I do like Crystal Palace. Zaha's obviously a fantastic player. I want to see more of Odsonne Edouard. Michael Elise looks fantastic. Eberezer Eze is coming back from that horrific injury that he got at the end of last season. And hopefully, he might make it on the bench in this game. But hopefully, he'll be able to start starting games fairly soon. And we can really see this young and exciting Palace front line all playing together and see the really real best of them. And I'm going to go for a Palace winning this game. I'm going to go 2-0 Crystal Palace. Next up is Newcastle United versus Brentford. And look, it's an interesting game. Brentford are in 14th. Newcastle in 19th. Newcastle only picking up 2 points from their last 15. Brentford not much better with only 3. Obviously, Brentford newly promoted. They've impressed people with how they're playing. They're not an easy team to beat, Brentford. However, look, they've lost Diego Raya. Their replacement in Fernandes, he ain't a bad keeper, but I don't think he is on the level of Raya. However, Newcastle, look, they're a bit of an unknown at the moment. Of course, we know they've got that takeover and they've got that money to spend. However, they can't spend the money at the moment and they've just got a new manager in Eddie Howe. So, look, it poses the same questions as we did for Steven Gerrard. Will he be able to get that new manager bounce? Will they get a system that works for this group of players? We know, of course, at Bournemouth, that Eddie Howe loved to play that 4-4-2. Do Newcastle kind of have a team to play that? They've got Callum Wilson, they've got Ryan Fraser, Matt Ritchie, of course, also used to play for Bournemouth. So there's 3 former Bournemouth players there. You got St. Maximin, who's quality. I don't know what system Eddie Howe's going to employ. Obviously, he's been out of the game for 2 years at this point. So apparently he's been developing his style and his ability as a coach. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on and what sort of formation and system he puts out in this Newcastle team. Because of that mystery and that sense of unknown with this Newcastle team at the moment, now Eddie Howe has been appointed, I'm going to go for a draw. And I'm going to go 1-1. Norwich City versus Southampton. Norwich, bottom of the league, aren't they? New manager as well in Dean Smith, who obviously was sacked by Aston Villa, then later replaced by Steven Gerrards. Southampton are in 13th. Norwich have picked up 5 points from their last 15, while Southampton have doubled that with 10 from their last 15. So Southampton, definitely the better team and definitely in the better form. But again, we posed the question, what is this new manager bounce going to be like? Or is there going to be one for Norwich? Can Dean Smith get this Norwich team better defensively? Because they certainly need to be that. Better defensively, they ship so many goals. And can they get players like Timu Puki firing? Can they get Milo Rashina firing? Josh Sargent firing? Because at the moment, they're not. And that's why Norwich aren't winning games and are bottom of the league. They can't score and they can't defend. That is going to be a huge job for Dean Smith to try and fix. Will he be able to do it? I'm not sure. I like Dean Smith. I said at the start of the season I thought he was a good manager when they sold Duke Grealish in my Premier League predictions for the league table. I like Dean Smith. I just think this Norwich job it's such a hard job. When Lampard was going to get it, I didn't understand why Lampard was going to take it. I don't really understand why Dean Smith took it. For me, it's a certain job for relegation. And I think Dean Smith's better than that. And I thought Frank Lampard was better than that. And because of all that, I am going to have to go for a Southampton win. I just don't see how Norwich win this game. Southampton are in better form. I think they're the better team. And I just think Norwich are a mess. So, 2-0 Southampton. Next up, we have Watford versus Manchester United. Now, Manchester United come into this game sat in 6th place while Watford are in 17th. Of course, Claudio Ranieri has only just really been appointed. He's only managed, 2 or 3 games for Watford. So, we don't really know truly how this Watford team will look to play. Although we can kind of guess from his job at Fulham and Leicester City that it is going to be counter-attacking football. Do I really rate Claudio Ranieri? I don't think he's that good, to be honest. I thought he was shocking at Fulham. I've not been too impressed with him at Watford. He was unbelievable at Leicester. But I think he's kind of still living on that. What he did at Leicester was unbelievable. It was a freak of nature. He's not that good of a manager. He failed at Chelsea, really. Awful at Fulham. I don't think he's going to last the season with Watford either. Now, coming into this game, Watford have picked up 3 points in the last 5. Of course, that was their smashing win against Everton. Was it 5-3 in the end in Ranieri's second game in charge? While Manchester United comes to this game on 4 points, having beaten Spurs and then drawn with Everton. Now, I'm not going to go more into this game. Of course, there will be a watch along and a match preview. The match preview will be out tomorrow. So please do subscribe and hit that notification bell below so you get to watch that. So you get a bit of a more in-depth analysis of this game. But I'm going to go for a Manchester United win 3-0. Next up is Wolverhampton Wanderers versus West Ham. Wolves sit in 8th in the Premier League while West Ham sit pretty in 3rd place. Wolves have picked up 10 points from their last 15, so they're in very, very good form. But West Ham, they have to go and beat that, don't they? 12 points from their last 15. That is fantastic, only losing 1 game in that time. So, who's going to win this game? I think West Ham. I think West Ham, they've looked fantastic this season. And I really, really do like what David Moyes is doing at that club. They've got fantastic plays in Antonio, Ben Rama's class, Declan Rice. He's just another level, isn't he? He's gone on leaps and bounds from last season this season. He's fantastic, and he spearheads that West Ham team from back to front. He's fantastic. I love West Ham and this West Ham team. They are fantastic. The only problem you may have for West Ham is who will partner Kurt Zouma at the back now. Angelo Ogbonna is out. I would imagine probably Michael Dawson comes in to the back line alongside Zouma. Of course, you do have fellow French teammate Issa Diop as well, who could quite easily come in not alongside Kurt Zouma. So that would be the interesting question, because I think Ogbonna has been such a key player for West Ham since David Moyes' return. But with Zouma next to him, I think whoever it is, whether it is Issa Diop or Michael Dawson, they will be just fine. Next up, we have Liverpool versus Arsenal. Liverpool coming to this game in 4th, with Arsenal hotly on their tail in 5th. Liverpool picking up just 7 out of the last 15 points available, while Arsenal pipped them with 11 from their last 15. Arsenal have been in very, very good form coming into this game. And I quite like what Arteta is doing at Arsenal. I think they've got a young, vibrant squad. I think he's getting the best out of them. And look, I said during the transfer window, I like the signings of Arsenal. I think they had a clear transfer target, and they had a clear thing what they were aiming for. They wanted young players that could impact the first team straight away. And I think they've done that. Tomiyasu, he looked very good. Ramsdale is fantastic. Sambi Lokonga, whenever I've seen him play, I've been quite impressed with him. I like Martin Odegaard. Smith Rowe's come on leaps and bounds this season. And look, we know how good Bukayo Saka is. So I do like Arsenal. Liverpool, they're just better, aren't they? They've not been fantastic this season. Not been at their very, very best. But look, this Liverpool team know how to turn it on. In big games, they turn it on. And I think they're going to do the same today. Like I said, I like Arsenal. I think they're doing well after what was a very difficult start to the season. But I do think Liverpool will win this game. I'm going to say fairly comfortably, to be honest. I'm going to go 2-0. Manchester City versus Everton. Now, I think this is going to be a fairly straightforward game. Man City are 2nd in the Premier League, while Everton are 11th. Man City have picked up 10 points from the last 15, while Everton have just 2. It's not good enough from Everton at the moment. And I think Man City, I think they're going to annihilate them. I think Man City are so good. They can create chances for fun. I think, look, yes, they don't have a reliable goal scorer, but they have players that can put the ball in the net. Foden can do it. De Bruyne can do it. Sterling can do it. Mahrez, Jesus, Grealish can score if he plays. They've got so many players that can score. I think that when you create as many chances per game as this Manchester City team does, you are bound to score goals. I don't think defensively they're bad either. They don't concede many goals. I do think they will concede today though. I just fancy like Andros Townsend. He loves the screamer against Man City, doesn't he? So I can see him conceding, but I'm going to go 4-1. 4-1 Man City seems about right to me. Now the final game of the week is Tottenham Hotspur versus Leeds United. Now Spurs come into this game in 9th place while Leeds sit down low in 15th. Spurs have picked up 7 points from their last 15 while Leeds have picked up 8. So it's fairly closely matched when it comes to form. Spurs just sitting higher in the table, mainly thanks to their fantastic start to the season. Of course, we do know Nuno got sacked. Now Antonio Conte's in. And look, we haven't seen much of Conte ball, but I think after this international break, he spent a lot of time with a lot of these players, drilling how he wants to play. And I think we're going to see a better Spurs team than we did prior to the break. And we already started to see some of the intricacies of Conte ball. Harry Kane comes into this game off the back of scoring 2 hat-tricks in 2 games for England against San Marino and, was it Albania? Yeah, they're not the greatest of opponents, but that is confidence. And you bring that into an Antonio Conte team, Harry Kane can be scoring goals. And that is something to fear, especially for a Leeds team that haven't been at their best defensively this season. It'll be interesting to see how they play in this game. It will be a back three you'd expect. It would just be interesting to see who makes up that back three with Romero gone. And will they be near to the very, very best of Antonio Conte ball? It'll be interesting to find out. But look, I think they are going to win this game 3-1. And leading on from that, my player to watch this week is going to be Harry Kane. He comes into this game in absolutely unbelievable form. He hasn't been good enough for Spurs this season, but it's time for him to kick on. He knows he's even said he's not had a good enough season so far. The 2 hat-tricks for England is bound to bring confidence regardless of who you're playing against. Broke more records for England. That's the type of form you want to be going into this game in. Antonio Conte, look, it's a dream, isn't it, for Antonio Conte to have a player like Harry Kane. And it's just, he's going to have quality and enough service to score a lot of goals. I think, like I said, Leeds defensively haven't been amazing this season. I think it's a real good chance for Harry Kane to get a couple goals today or this week. He might even score another hat-trick. He might get all 3 goals from the 3-1 win. I don't know. But I really would keep an eye on Harry Kane. He's going to be my captain on fantasy this week. So he is my player to watch. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And let me know down below your predictions and let me know who your player to watch would be. Anyway, thank you all for watching and I'll see you all in the next one in a bit. Peace.